Greetings sleepers and happy Halloween, Esper here. Today we got a developer update this morning for October, and there's some pretty exciting stuff in there, like a cargo container, some new expertise. So let's go over this stuff and we'll get right into it and read over what they've got. The cargo containers are something that was mentioned before and is going to be in before Chapter 3. So what they put in here is one short-term improvement mentioned in our previous update was the cargo container for carrier ornithopters. The upcoming patch will enable the ability to travel between maps with harnessed vehicles, and we are excited to add the cargo container. So that's an update that's going to be coming shortly after December. So we've still got a ways to go before we see that cargo container. That's going to be closer to like this actual Chapter 3 update that's coming. So I'm a little worried about this one. I like the idea of it. I think it's great. I think it's something that we definitely need. But it's a container in a container that's crossing maps and boundary lines. So I'm sure there's going to be some sort of duping that happens within this or something that we've also got later on that we're going to go over. So we've got that. The player event log. This is just when you've got people taking stuff in and out of your boxes and stuff inside of your chapter house. You can see what's going on inside of that a little bit more. Game balance. Now this is something interesting. A different area we want to touch upon is game balance, tuning skills, weapons and abilities, etc. It's an ongoing process and it's informed by in-game data and your feedback. Some of these changes have been implemented quickly through small updates, while others, like upcoming rapier reworks, require more to get right. Regardless of the scope, every adjustment is made with a broader design philosophy in mind. For instance, we aim to provide players with a meaningful way to disengage from combat encounters. So that was something that was sort of a problem. Like as we got away from more of the aerial combat and got into more of the ground combat, there was a lot of things that melee could do versus just anybody to kind of tie them into that melee combat role. And unless you were parrying off of their continued attacks, there's nothing you could do. So if somebody did just purely go into a range tree and they would get crippling strike, which is I believe one of the things they're talking about in here, and then they would get hit by the suspensor blast, you're forced into a parry mode defense. There's nothing else you could do at that point. You've got no stamina. The only thing you can do is parry. You can't swing. You can't run away. You can't dash. So that was just, it was a problem. It made melee and daggers just like way overpowered as far as like any kind of close range stuff went. So in here, Crippling Strike is now less punishing for those on the receiving end, with reduced stamina dash cost and increased dash distance, allowing for smarter, more dynamic escapes while maintaining tension. And they're just trying to make the fights a little bit more fair. So it's not like you can go up there with one wombo combo and just bam, zap somebody's stamina to zero and take them out. We encourage to continue giving us feedback via Reddit and Discord and Steam by engaging in discussions with fellow sleepers. So this is something we'll probably talk about more in our videos coming up, and how we can adjust to a new build, and also what we can do to kind of give them some feedback on making the balance a little bit better here as far as combat goes. Now, character transfers and server merges. So this is something that we were talking about in the last couple of videos. If you hadn't watched those, go back and watch them. There's lots of different ways that they could do these server merges, so it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it. But it seems like they're going to go ahead and set it up to where we can either do our transfers, like transfer our characters with our base and everything over to whatever server that we want, and then they're going to merge stuff. So I'm hoping that they give us the ability to to transfer after the merges happen. We'll see what happens with that. So here we've also seen questions about character transfers and server merges a lot. So here's where we're at with that. The character transfers are underway on our test servers and they're going smoothly and will be ready within a few more weeks. Now, this feature will also let you move your character along with your progress, your inventory, and anything stored in your bank or backup tools to a new world and siege of your choice. So this is interesting. They've got like a new tool now, which you can just use on your base, and it stores your entire base in your inventory. So like if you want to take a break from the game, or if you want to store everything real quickly to be able to move your character over to a different server that's more populated, like boom, you can just pick up and move now. So this is going to be interesting. So in here, to make those moves easier, we will also introduce what we are internally calling the base backup tool. This new tool lets you store your entire base along with nearly all of its contents and its items in your character's inventory. So this is another thing where I kind of see there possibly being some problems with this. People are going to start messing around. If you've got an item in your inventory that's got items inside of it that can be containers that have items in those containers, people are going to find a way to exploit that. You're going to be able to dupe that at some point. There's going to be some sort of backup within container and container and container, unless they did this some sort of remarkable new way that I don't understand. But we'll see what's going on with that inside the playtest server, because we'll be able to go in there and try out some of this stuff before it actually goes live. As for the server merges, they'll follow after, and by the end of this year, we'll outline all the necessary information about this process. Several weeks will pass from the moment until the merging process begins, so that everyone has enough time to prepare. Stay tuned. So it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're giving the people in the meantime the ability to change your server. So if you're not happy with your dead server right now, come on over to our Anomaly. We've got a low pop server. It's really fun over here. I'm not moving. I don't see the point of moving if we're getting merged afterwards. We've got the ability to move before we merge. So if you want to move somewhere that's more populated, like I said, you've got that ability, and then they're going to merge afterwards. So hopefully they still give us the ability to move after the merging. Because if you get merged into a server that you don't want to be with, that should be your opportunity to be like, all right, well, now I want to use my free character move to get moved over here because I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Well, we'll see what happens with the servers and that. Chapter 3 is also coming. This is probably the thing I'm most excited for, just because I kind of knew some of the other stuff was already happening. Chapter 3 is the next major content update planned for quarter 1 of 2026. At its core, the goal for the next chapter is to enrich the endgame experience. So they are planning the rework for this, it sounds like, or they're at least expanding upon what they've already got at least, and maybe the rework's going to be coming later. The team is making excellent progress on transforming the Landsrat into contract-based systems that offer repeatable PvE activities. Expanding on the character progression within specializations. Hold on, let's stop there for a second. What is crafting? Is crafting not a PvE activity? The Landsrat into contract-based systems that offer repeatable PvE activities. So I'm guessing this is quests. So it's like, you know how we can go out and we can kill a bunch of Karab or kill a bunch of slavers, and that gives us points. That's like a repeatable PvE activity. So my guess is it's going to be something like, you go here, this quest chick wants you to go pick up 5 things from killing different bosses or something. You go kill those bosses and bring them back. You do that quest like 2 or 3 times and you've completed the thing for the week. That's what I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure what they mean by PvE activities, because to me crafting is already a PvE activity. They're expanding on the character progression with specializations. This is huge. This is cool. So this is what we see below. I'll pop up a picture of it so you can see just kind of their little example of it, of the exploration craft tree here. Now, I can't wait to see more about this, because this actually gives me something else to do on my main character where I can sit here and level up more of them. It looks like there's a specializations and the explorations, because it looks like this is like a totally different thing for exploration. They've got exploration level, your XP gain, your yield gained. So I think this is like your crafting yield, or I'm sorry, not your crafting yield, your gathering yield. So you can boost your gathering yield. That's freaking awesome, because that's something that I feel like PvE people have needed, was some kind of system to make the gathering more engaging, because they don't have really any armor except for a couple of pieces. Keystones purchased. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's you gotta purchase so many keystones, like all these different levels. It says 3 of 5 here, but then they're on 7, so I'm not sure if this actually correlates or if this is all just gibberish numbers, because obviously a lot of it is. Now, stats gained example. You gain stats and you gain buffs for different stuff that you get in there. So this is really cool. I can't wait to see what it is that you can get, how much of it you can actually level up, how often you're going to be able to reset it, because this is going to change my build videos that are coming up. It's going to change all sorts of different stuff. So it looks like there's another specializations tab that might make you go into certain things for certain characters. So it looks like we might actually get additional bonuses for being like just Bene Gesserit and having like a majority of Bene Gesserit skills, or so many things in Bene Gesserit unlocked to be able to unlock a specialization in it. Same thing with like all the other classes like Mentat or Sword Master or anything like that. It just really gets you a more specialization, more specialized feel for actually like going down the path of just one of those trees, as opposed to just kind of mixing everything up like a lot of people do right now. So this will be interesting to see how this goes. I will keep you guys updated, as I will be on the playtest server trying this stuff out, and I'll give you some updates next week. I'll catch you in the next one, and as always, fly low and fly fast.